This was Paris in 2015. And this, well, this is Paris now. Somehow, in 10 years, they managed to massively improve the air quality in the city. But how? I've heard some stories online, but today I decided to head to Paris to get to the bottom of things myself. I've lived in London for the last 13 years now, and London is famously a bit smoggy from pollution, but in the recent years, London has actually been upping its pedestrianization and cycling game. So I figured, why not put both cities to the test? That's Buckingham Palace. Today I'm cycling in London and Paris. That's right, the same exact day. I'm gonna be hitting up 4 or 5 distinct landmarks in each city and getting one of each city's iconic dishes. As well, I'll be commenting on the infrastructure I see along the way that make pedestrianization and cycling so much better in each city. Without further ado, let's hop on the bike and see London first. Good morning, it's 7 a.m. I'm starting my journey very early in this little park here next to CS3. This is one of the weirdest bits. The curves, I don't know if they've ever seen how fast you can turn a bike, but it is not quite this. Whoop. It's ridiculous. Right here is actually where I crashed for the first time. The hump here is supposed to separate it for pedestrians and cyclists, but hitting this at a slight angle caused me to just completely spin off and crash and injure my leg really badly. So this is very poor design, and I'm not biased. That's not good.
All right, so London's not off to a good start, but maybe its quiet ways can turn things around.
So most of this way now, as you can see, I'm not on a protected cycleway. Damn. Most of this is now a quiet way. This is part of Cycleway 3, but a quieter road. Cars are discouraged from going on this road, and for the most part, as you can see, it is actually quite quiet.
It was quite quiet.
Whoop. Whoop.
All in all, this cycleway went from sharing the road with cars.
Now we are switching over from the left side of the road to the right. Whee!
To a very narrow, raised, and separate cycle path.
And boom. Excuse me, Mr. Pigeon?
To this super wide cycle path with benefits you might not have even thought about.
Oh, there's the walkie-talkie building. Look how wide this cycle lane is. This is insane. The thing that a lot of people don't realize about making cycle lanes this big is that they don't have to just be used for cyclists. What about emergency services? Ambulances can go right down this if they need to. It's so hard to get these cars out of the way for an ambulance a lot of times. Cyclists, they're so much easier to just get out of the way. This becomes a private highway for the ambulance. Now, so far, the infrastructure here has just kept getting better. Here we have an incredibly protected cycle lane. We have a huge island here. I mean, unless there's a James Bond film happening, no one's hopping this curb to hit me.
And hey, the thing about cycle paths is that the more safe cycle paths that you build, the more they actually get used. This one in particular had already seen over 1.4 million journeys by bike. I wonder how that will compare to the cycle tracker I found in Paris.
This is one of the things I was hoping to tick off the list, cycling along the city's major river. Look at that, our next London landmark, the London Eye. Another landmark, beautiful. I've never seen this before. No tourists, check that out. Ah, we have a road closure.
Go down past the police vehicle.
All right, cyclists cycling on the pavement. Hey, I've never gone down this road. Oh, cobblestone. Oh, which way am I supposed to go? Cyclists dismount? Well, a little bit late for me.
I had absolutely no idea where I was going.
I'm meant to go this way now?
When cars have a detour, they just choose a different road. But as London only has a select number of safe cycleways, closing just one of them off to cyclists means pushing them into more dangerous situations.
Okay, so now though I'm being shoved off on a road with big green vans, this is quite a detour. Can I turn left?
No. Cross the road.
Can I cross the road and then take the, okay. Any reason in particular, something going on? Okay, parade, got it. There usually is a protected cycle lane right there. Where is this parade? Well, there's Buckingham Palace. How can I cycle down the cycleway?
You have to go cross point here, then short in.
This is an insane detour.
I was honestly really lost, and I didn't want to miss my train to Paris.
Hiya. How do I get to Marble Arch from here?
Luckily for me, I came across a type of policeman I'd never seen in London before. A bike cop. He's just like me.
This area is fenced off.
Is there a parade?
It's the practices for the King's birthday.
Oh, well, happy birthday. I should have planned for the King's birthday. Should have put it in my calendar. All right, so we've headed to Green Park. This is actually a really nice part of the cycling infrastructure. You get to go underneath of this beautiful giant archway. It's now used for pedestrians and cyclists. Here we have the famous marble arch. I prefer the other arch, I'm gonna be honest.
So after a rather pleasant detour through Hyde Park, I found myself still very confused and just sort of plopped out onto the road with cars.
And I do not know where I'm meant to be. This is one way in it. Well, obviously I'm not going on a one-way road. There's the problem.
Now this is a good example of London's worst cycling infrastructure, when there is none at all. Not only is this more dangerous for cyclists, but it's also a lot more annoying for drivers.
London has been doing its best to improve its cycling infrastructure. They've increased the amount of cyclists on the road by 20% since 2016, and they have been investing in cycle lanes, but they've still got a lot to do. I'm so interested to see what it's going to be like in Paris. Oh, what the hell? What am I meant to do? Oh, I do not like this at all. This is, no, thank you very much. Okay, this is a bit weird. We're on the right side of the road, but very lovely. I want to go this way. So this is quite a big area that I'm having to share with cars. I'm not trying to be biased. I don't like this. Yes, there's a cycleway there, but if I want to turn right, I basically have to share with the cars here.
The bare minimum cycling infrastructure many streets in London use is putting up some flexible bollards to separate the cars and the bikes.
They're not super safe, however.
This particular street near Paddington decided to make the best of a bad situation.
They're little tulips. It might not be the best, but this is putting in a little bit of effort. These are so cute. All right. Oh, so this is C27. This is going to be one of the smaller, quieter cycleways. We got rental bikes here. We got the flags. This is a really beautiful neighborhood. Nice and quiet. Oh my God, a stop sign. I didn't know where to find them in London. Wow. Stop signs are very rare in the UK in general. As an American, I found that confusing because I need a big red stop sign. I'm sharing a road with black cabs. Doesn't really feel too nice, to be honest.
But so far, this has pretty much just been cycling on easy mode, if you can believe it. It's time to make it a bit more difficult if Paris is really to be given a fair shot.
I believe Oxford Street is the busiest shopping street in all of Europe. And here it is. This gets to be an absolute cluster at any sort of peak time. For the last 12 years, since I've been living in London, Oxford Street has been up for debate for being fully pedestrianized. Yikes! Ah! That's not nice, right? This is such a busy street, especially on weekdays, especially during Christmas, that pedestrians are all over the road, and there really is no reason for cars to be driving here. There have been many polls, and Londoners are overwhelmingly in favor of full pedestrianization of Oxford Street. I feel like if you ask any Londoner what their favorite parts of London are, they are the parts that are fully pedestrianized. They're gonna be places like Carnaby Street, parts of Soho. But here, this is like Londoner hellhole. It's just full of tourists and cars, and there's just not easy to get around.
Now I was really in the thick of it. Despite being one of the most popular central parts of London, Soho has an appalling lack of cycleways.
Cyclists, slow down. Okay, good, it doesn't say stop.
And often, you need to squeeze through weird bits like this.
Little construction in the city, huh?
And yes, Soho Square is lovely, but for most of the area, getting around by bike is more like this.
Oh, this is a cycleway? Are you serious? So look how much more pedestrianized this road is. It's so much nicer. The cars that want to drive here, they have this one little lane, they can do it. Everywhere else is meant for pedestrians. You have a nice little area here to sit. This is usually full of people at the middle of the day. And this is Seven Dials, one of my favorite parts of London. Now we did have quite a, oh my God, this cobblestone, oh. Damn.
After a bit more cycling around over some painful bits of London cobblestones, I had one more task to complete in London before I could make it to my train.
And so for one final challenge before we head to the Eurostar, because all these delays with the King's birthday have really held me up, I'm now going to go to a Greg's, all right? It's time for an iconic London dish, a sausage roll with a cheap, tasty, not so tasty coffee. Ooh, ooh, having it. Ah. So there's no bike parking anywhere near me over here. Look at all this. This is like a very fancy Sheffield stand. I am so hungry. I am so in need of a coffee. Look at that. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, we got our Greg's. For like a quick snack, you really can't beat a Greg's sausage roll and a flat white, £3.10. The flat white's made in a machine that doesn't make it that nice, and the sausage roll is mostly butter and meat. But that's not so bad.
So with a sausage roll in my belly, it was time I experienced the absolute worst part of my journey so far.
All right, let's get back on the road. You know, I liked this little parking spot. I don't like it anymore. All right, so that guy did not want to let me go, so I'm gonna have to take it from him. Now this is really not a nice street to cycle on. Loads of hungry vehicles ready to run me over behind me. Not one little area to the side for a cycle lane. I want to get as far away from the cars as possible. Now we need to get to King's Cross, St. Pancras. I need to somehow squeeze in between, get to the bike box. Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. All right. This is the scariest bit of the entire cycle so far. And this is a major thoroughfare from south to north. There we go. So here we have green cycle sign and then red. What is that possibly for? We got an accept cycle sign. This is good. Oh, we got a little bike garage. You can actually petition your council to install more little bike lockers like that if you don't feel like you can park your bike anywhere safely, and they'll put them up. So that's positive. You might wonder why the hell I'm now on the pavement. I also wonder this. I must have missed a turn or something. This is not nice. What the fuck am I supposed to do here? We've made it. So there's King's Cross Underground. This is St. Pancras, the international station. It is an absolute cluster of big black cabs here. You'd think that one of the biggest, busiest international stations in the UK would have a cycling lane. Nope. It's kind of crazy. Oh boy. I'll ding him back. How about that? I think here's where I need to find some safe bike parking. No Sheffield stands anywhere. No. Oh, is that? Nope, that's not a, nope.
Compared to the Netherlands, where cities like Amsterdam and Utrecht get these massive indoor parking lots for bikes to encourage their use, London's biggest international train station gets this.
Oh, here we are. So much room for cars, and yet this is what we've got. Clearly, they've not given us enough space, so it's overflowing. And this is how you get your bike damaged. It's time to gather up my stuff, lock my bike up, text my girlfriend where my bike is. Got my passport here. It's actually a trick passport, you see, because it's British.
At long last, I made it to my train on time.
All right, Paris 11:31.
You might be wondering why I didn't just bring my own bike to Paris, and why did I park it outside the station? Well, you see, Eurostar have an absolutely awful policy that they only implemented about 5 years ago, where you can't actually bring your bike on board unless you fully disassemble it first and place it in a box. So yeah, that's a no-go. Turns out being able to use your bike in multiple countries connected by train remains a dream, while Eurostar maintains their current monopoly over the Channel Tunnel. Hopefully that's ending soon.
We've officially made it to Eurostar. I did book this Eurostar quite early, so I think I got it for about £40 each way, which is quite crazy.
But as I looked out the window at the scenery passing me by, I had bigger thoughts on my mind. London sure had a lot of safe cycleways through some of my favorite parts of the city, but it also had its fair share of spicy moments. Would cycling in Paris be any better? And could I survive cycling through Paris's infamous roundabout?
I've just made it outside of the station here in Paris du Nord. My French is incredibly great. I'm feeling incredibly exhausted, to be very honest with you. I cycled 27 kilometers in London this morning. According to my Lime app here, luckily same one works in London as in Paris. Oh, here we are, yes. There's a lot of Lime bikes right here. Quality is hit or miss with these guys. They're also really, really heavy. That one looks pretty clean. Full battery. All right, and we're probably gonna end up getting a Lime pass. I can get 200 minutes, €22. And just like that, bish bash bosh, I've got myself a bike to explore Paris. Is Paris going to be as good as they say it is for cycling? I'm excited to see. We're not off to a good start here. It looks like everywhere around the major station where the Eurostar pulls in is full of cars, full of construction. I'm a bit exhausted, but we've got another 30 kilometers to go. Bit hungry as well. So first stop is going to be one of the best croissants in all of Paris. All right, right out of the station, and I'm sharing a road with cars. They're currently in the middle of renovations and construction, maybe for a cycle lane. Oh my God, I hate Lime bikes so much. They're so scary. We've got a green man. We need to cross the road so that we're on the right side of the road. Already off to a good start in Paris.
So Paris is just like London in terms of having really bad cycling infrastructure around their main train station. But I think maybe at this point I should focus more on actually cycling on the right side of the road.
Why is every bike symbol going the way that I'm not going? It seems like I'm just going the wrong way perpetually.
I've been in Britain for too long.
Using a Lime bike around pedestrians is not nice because of the cadence sensor. And away we go. Wow. Okay, first off, the green color for the cycleway. I really like the green. Off to a rough start, but this is actually quite nice. All right, red light. Is that for cars? Yes. Oh, just for cars, because me, I'm on a bike, so I can keep going if I want. Oh. It does say the priority is for pitons, and I'm assuming Piétons are pedestrians. Don't know what that landmark is. I've not tried to look for it, but it's beautiful. It's on the way. I wanted the top-rated croissant in all of Paris as of last year. Sadly, they're closed on Saturday and Sunday, and somehow I didn't come across this information. So I am currently going to another top-rated place.
And London may have had detours due to the King's Parade practice, but I bet you could guess what's causing some disruption in Paris.
And it is Paris, so we're currently experiencing a bit of a protest. Wow, that's a big protest. Right on. Woohoo!
Real talk, I've really been enjoying these safe and separate green cycleways on either side of the road. Yeah, they might be a little narrow because they're only one way, but they feel so beautiful the way that the trees are on either side and they're perfectly separate, the road in the middle, the pavement on the right. It just makes sense.
This does not look nice, but hopefully we can figure it out using the signals on the road.
Unfortunately for me, to get to my croissant boulangerie by bike, I also had to go through some spicier intersections.
We're meant to take a right here. Looks like there's a bike symbol on the ground there. But here, oh, look at this. All right. It's not green, and the island little separator is very small, but I am going the wrong way. Okay, so let's do that again. I don't like this. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm on the pavement. Can I go right here? Is this? Yeah, it looks like there's a bike doing that. Where the f am I supposed to go? It looks like I do need to take a right as soon as possible. I mean, as soon as possible, which means I'm going through this. Oh, that road, I see. Oh, nice and slow, nice and slow. Trafic limité. Oh, they limited traffic.
Right about now is when I noticed one of the main things about cycling in Paris compared to London.
Look how wide this is.
And I'd only been here for 15 minutes.
Oh boy, look at all the bikes.
It is really lovely to feel like everyone around you is part of the same team. Well, as they say, if you build it, they will come. Just like if you build a place that makes killer croissants, I will cross all of Paris to come and grab one. When you're out on your bike and you're the only one there, it does make you feel like an outcast. But in Paris, you're just so surrounded by all these other people cycling, it really makes you feel like there's a vibrant community of people that just like getting around. The more people on the roads that aren't in cars, the more solidarity and the more safe you can feel knowing you're all in this together.
Oh boy, what the f am I doing here? Supposedly, I have to take this little bit. Okay, this is fun, this is fun. Whee! Looks like they're building some new cycle lane stuff here. They are currently putting in loads of cycleways in this city, so that makes sense. All right, no longer on a protected cycleway, but it's not that bad. Oh wow, look at this. What is this Dr. Seuss shit here? So I need to somehow take a left here, which it seems like you can just do. Wow, okay. Even though it felt like it should have been scary, it made so much more sense on a bike. All right, so we're crossing the Seine now for the first time. Sensational. We have our own private, really wide cycleway. This is not nice. Okay, I'm gonna go the wrong way down this. Okay, oh, we're green. Red lights don't mean nothing if you can't speak French. Oh, look at this, vélo parking. Nailed it. Time for a croissant. Just one croissant and water.
Okay.
Water.
Bouteille d'eau, 3,10 s'il vous plaît.
Let's cut. Oh, there we go. Thank you.
Et merci.
Merci.
You receive.
And
Merci.
merci. Whew. Wow, that girl's English was so good. And then that woman spoke French so fast. I don't know anything except bonjour and merci. All right, so I've got my croissant. It's supposedly one of the best in Paris. Oh, I mean, I will say, that is genuinely beautiful. Let's see if this croissant is better than a Greg's. It's gonna be a very low bar. Damn, wow. The layers are so crispy. It's honestly 10 out of 10. Oh my God. Next up, we're going to the Notre Dame. Back on the bike, belly full of tasty croissants. So we need to take a right, left, right. All right, I don't like it, but look at that, and it says Zauf. Oh! Evan's going the opposite way down the bike lane because the cars are filling up the entire area I'm meant to go. Ban all the cars, all right? That's what I say. Wow, this does not look like a place I'm gonna wanna cycle my bike, right? I'm gonna wanna walk this guy. He says cycling the bike. It's the Castel Notre Dame. Wow. There we go, landmark number 2. Cathédrale de Notre Dame. I'm so glad they fixed it after it burnt. They're still working on it, but this thing was built like 800 years ago and it is stunning. Let's get back on the bike and carry on.
But as I head to my next one, I quickly realize why it feels like getting around by bike is so much quicker in Paris than in London.
And look at this. We have a giant protected cycleway. Oh, cool. We have right of way. Well, that was very nice. We have cycleways in London, but all of them just operate to the same signals for the most part as the cars, which doesn't make sense. That's why there's such a huge issue with people being like, oh, cyclists don't stop with red lights. Red lights are not designed for the cyclists, they're designed for the motorists. Like, look at that one. That red light, and guess what? Means nothing to me, because I'm on the cycle path. All right, crossing the Seine again. That's very nice. I do not like cobblestones.
And in order to get to my next landmark, I need to cycle down what used to be one of Paris's most congested roads, but it's now looking quite a bit different.
So I recognize this street. This is the Rue de Rivoli. Yes, so this one has been in a lot of the news recently in urbanist spaces because this used to be like Oxford Street, a huge busy thoroughfare in Paris, which was clogged up with cars. And look what they've done. They've taken the entire road and given it to cyclists. They've given the cars there one tiny little lane on the right. Like, they didn't have to go this hard. Wow. Like, this is a statement right here. This blows my mind. I actually need to, ooh! There's a gold and a white bike lane. I honestly don't know the difference. So where is this Louvre I've heard so much about? Shit, I gotta get over there. All right, so supposedly a big ass museum around here, some sort of pyramid.
And just like that, I'd made it to my second landmark, the Louvre.
There he is.
But not before giving the worst northern impression I've ever done in my entire life.
I love him. That sounds like how a northerner would say it. I love you. I love her. That sounds nothing like a northerner, you stupid twat.
Sorry, love.
All right, let's go, baby. Bit of infrastructure and oh my God, this is so bad. All right, goodbye, Louvre. And away we go, just like that. Whew, so you might be wondering how Paris came to change so much of its city to drastically fix the air pollution. Well, Paris has had two very successful mayors over the last 25 years or so. Bertrand Delanoë was the mayor until 2014, and he enacted quite a few policies taking back alongside the Seine, the river. Used to be a big expressway, and now it is pedestrianized. It's not really good for cycling from my little experience there. Wasn't too nice. Then an even more radical mayor, Ana Hidalgo, she's actually been killing it with cycling infrastructure. She had some crazy goals of basically removing, I think it was like 50% of the parking spots for cars in the center of the city. She did it. She made it more difficult for cars to drive around and gave back a lot of that area that was just being used for inefficient forms of transport to bikes. Now, a lot of this was actually spurred from that data in the beginning of this video. Paris was suffering so bad with its air pollution that they needed to solve the problem, and it was quite an easy solution. It's not that difficult to figure out what's causing all the pollution in the city. All the cars. Cars are inefficient. We don't need them to be prioritized over more efficient forms of transport. Oh, what's happening here? Oh, what? Oh, ew. Oh my God, a Eiffel Tower. Wow. This seems lawless. Oh my God, what the f? I don't like this at all. Now, as soon as Ana Hidalgo was elected, her policies of taking back the city from the cars and giving it back to the Parisians seemed very radical. A lot of motorists were very upset about it. But as the policies began to be enacted, people actually started to realize what they caused the city to become. Cleaner, faster to get around, and less noisy. What's not to like? Let's go.
All this sounds great, but maybe that's because so far I've only been cycling in the easiest parts of Paris.
I've saved the worst for penultimate. Evan is about to cycle through way too many big buses here in order to get to the Champs-Élysées, the Arc de Triomphe. Now, I also want to note that even though Paris has changed drastically in the last 10 years, they're actually behind schedule. I believe they're only 30% done, all the different improvements to the cycling and pedestrian infrastructure that they're supposed to have done by 2026. So they only got a year to do the further 70%, and that doesn't seem likely. Oh boy, oh boy. Not only am I coming up to a scary bit of road infrastructure, even though I'm on a cycle area with a little bit of protection here, I'm not feeling nice. Starting to get real tired.
As I approached my 50th kilometer of cycling today, I started getting really exhausted, which is bad news considering what landmark is just visible on the horizon.
Here we go. Oh my God. I'm sticking to the side, lads. I'm sticking to the side. Oh yeah. Oh God. Oh, okay, we're doing it, we're doing it, we're doing it, we're doing it. Nobody's hit me yet. Whoa, that's right, I'm going around the whole thing, guys. Increasing my risk tenfold. You know why it's not so bad on the other side of this blue line? I mean, I'm still looking around like crazy, I'm gonna be honest. It's crazy. We've done it. We went a whole lap. Oh, goddamn. Oh, God. All right, so we need to find our right exit to get to the final landmark on our day tour of Paris by bike, Le Tour Eiffel. I actually have no idea what it is in French. Eiffel Tower, my friends. Eiffel Tower, let's go. All right, so no protected cycleway here, but I guess this is similar to standard London streets. I'm not really afraid of this. However, so much cobblestone, so much cobblestone. I need to take a left, actually. Cobblestone, 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 cobblestone. Oh my God, it's paved. Wow. I'm assuming it's this way. It is not. All right, it's that road over there.
Even through the painful cobblestone roads and sometimes confusing intersections, you realize the light at the end of the tunnel is really what makes it all worth it in the end.
Supposedly, I'm near the Eiffel Tower. Oh, we're so close. Oh my God, it's the Eiffel Tower. Oh, that's what it's all about. There he is. This morning I was cycling around Big Ben, and this evening I found myself cycling around the Eiffel Tower. This challenge has been so incredibly exciting to me. I originally just started this because I saw that image that I showed at the beginning of the video showing the air quality, and I was like, how could a city do this within 10 years? London, it feels like, would never be able to do that because of the way that the city is governed. 32 individual boroughs all fighting over like, oh, well, we don't want this type of thing, and we don't want this type of thing, and the mayor of London can try his best, but for the most part, you need some sort of radical leader that has a vision, like Anne Hidalgo, like Bertrand Delanoë, who have a vision for the city and they work to make it happen. They knew that there was a problem, and rather just getting stuck arguing about everything, they just did what they thought would be right. And yes, it was seen as radical, but then once everyone enjoyed the quality of life increase, it became just a no-brainer. Of course we should do that. The biggest change that I've noticed today is the change. There's been so many changes I can see happening all around me when cycling in Paris, whereas London, it's like, oh, we got some tulip bollards, and that's what excites us. Whereas Paris is like, we took an entire road away from cars and gave it back to the people. That's exciting, that's change, that is gonna be even more interesting in the next 5 years. Hopefully, if we can have our way, maybe London will be a nicer place to live, a nicer place to walk, a nicer place to cycle, exist, and breathe the air within the next 5 to 10 years. We'll just see if we can get around the way that the city is currently governed. But either way, hopefully you get a chance to test out these cycleways in Paris. Hopefully I can come back in the next 5 years or so and see if they've finished their goal by 2026. We'll see if that actually happens, but hey, if it's anything like it was today, I'm sure it'll be great. Now, if you don't mind me, my partner's arriving on the Eurostar soon, and I'm gonna be cycling over to meet her. And guess what? Tomorrow is car-free Sunday in Paris. Loads of the city, car-free. Can't believe it. This city, it's on the up and up. Thanks for having me, Paris. Hopefully, I'll see you around real soon. Very nice. Eiffel Tower. French man smoking a cigarette in my face. What more could one want? That man just took a pee in a bush.